What is up, party people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Cupchasers Daily World Cup edition. Mikel Oyarzabal has arrived. I'm sorry, man. I was not familiar with your game. This guy's got mad goals. It's like 50 goals. He's like really close to some crazy record of goals in his last Spain appearances, and he's doing it again up top for the Spanish in that cruise. 3-0 easy Thursday afternoon, I should say, over Austria. And then, of course, all the drama was in the Portugal-Croatia game. Ronaldo getting his first ever World Cup knockout goal. And then, of course, the late drama. We'll be speaking on the technology in that particular instance, of course. And then I got to say, big up Breel Embolo, of course, with his whatever this was celebration where he was sitting on the ground. But they cruised, man. Algeria were not even close to being in that game. I was very, very surprised by how much Swiss dominated that game. And, of course, we got plenty of games coming down the line today, the end of the round of 32 to get into. So go ahead and smash up the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Get the notification bell on and share it with everyone you know, because my man Nez is in the building. How you doing?
Hey man, it's funny. I'm fantastic. Hope you are. Hope everybody else is. It's funny. Yesterday, looking at those three games after the Portugal game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I watched a little bit of after Switzerland went up 2-0. I kind of checked out because this was the first game. I was like, hey man, I can relax, and I just like, hey, I'm gonna just go ahead and go. I trust what I see, and then just kind of let it be like that. It was the only game I didn't feel like something was going to come back in it. So, but other than that, this World Cup has been fantastic. The last day of the groups today, absolutely epic. And hey, man, what I do love is the banter that I'm hearing and the amount of love people are giving to football, and the people are loving it. Good morning. That's your mom, right?
That's his mama. Yeah.
Good morning, mom. Yeah, but yeah, it's been great, man. I've absolutely enjoyed all of it. I look forward to the discussions.
Yeah, definitely, man. I was hoping Austria would put up a little bit more of a fight, but I think you put in the chat about they ain't got nobody up top.
Nobody.
No one to speak of. And I responded with, yes, Marcel Sabitzer is your number 9. That's rough pumpkins.
They look so bad.
They did. I don't understand why Arnautovic was like in and out of the team. Isn't he like their best player?
Managers have been making really strange decisions this entire World Cup. So I'm struggling to even make sense of any of this stuff. I don't know, man. I really don't know, because Austria had like a history of looking better. They didn't. They looked like not yesterday.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
Even though, the funny thing is, and this is not like sort of to undercut the Spain's victory. I mean, they didn't look great either. Like, once they started scoring, they were fine. But the fact that the Spain-Portugal game feels more like a pick-me than it should be. A pick-em up, not pick-me. It feels more
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, my bad. That's a pick-me is a person who just does whatever to make people happy. We're not talking about that. We're talking about pick-up. Yeah. And I would say, if this score line was really indicative of the Spain that I thought I was going to see the whole tournament, I'd have been like, yeah, Spain easy. But it's really a pick'em game.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I actually came away from that Spain result going, you know what? If the USA get Spain in that quarterfinal,
yeah, man,
I'm a little bit more encouraged than I might have been before the tournament started, because they weren't like scintillating.
Well, and that that's the other thing is, one, it looks like they're a little leggy, which is, I mean, a lot of the Spanish players play on the teams that play deep into the year, but they looked a little leggy. And obviously, you get your striker hitting the stride, and you get some goals, and that's what happened for them. But like around them, they didn't look like wonderful, man. And the funny thing is, I in the World Cup, I generally separate club ball from national team ball. But Rodri was looking tired, and I know tired Rodri. Like, you can see that, and especially since we already know he plans to have surgery after Spain is done. Like, it's already on the cards that he's going to have a surgery and miss, I think, a month, maybe two of the season.
Yeah.
I don't. It makes me not really. Hey,
what's up, Mama?
it makes me wonder about like Spain in general. Like because Yamal looked like okay. He got a man of the match, and I don't really know how.
Yeah, I'm not sure how.
Well, we could ask that question about the next game too. But I just kind of look at that and I say, you know what? I think it is a pick 'em. But I mean Spain. I mean, if we're looking at the odds, because if I'm not mistaken, I think the odds were for Spain to win anyways. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was. So I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. But again, not super impressed. But hey, congratulations to Spain. And again, as we've said on here multiple times, it's not how you win; it's just getting the win. So they did what they needed to do, and they're going forward. And they'll be getting a familiar opponent in more than one way.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been hearing that, maybe it's because Spain hasn't necessarily faced anyone, and so they're kind of
what?
not really going for it. I mean, look at their group stage: Cape Verde, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia. Uruguay with pants.
So the answer is to not exert dominance for confidence. That would be the equivalent of France just leaving it to the death in every game they've played. France said, "Hey man, we're not fucking around. We're punching you in the face." Argentina, "Hey man, we're not fucking around. We're punching you in the face." I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know, but okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, and even having said that, it is still a 3-0. It is still a 3-0 win. Like, it wasn't like we're saying Spain were bad or anything. It's just that they were. I mean, you have to look at the other side of it too. Austria didn't offer.
Yeah, nothing, and they had chances.
Nothing, man.
They had chances, and they.
Yeah.
Well, I'm reading this headline on FootMob. FootMob sponsors. It says for the first time in 32 years, Spain scored multiple goals in a World Cup knockout match.
Oh yeah, that's right.
32 years.
Because when they won in 2010, it was all a bunch of 1-0s.
So maybe my evaluation is completely skewed because they're just fine, just dragging it out. But I mean, they've never really had they've never run the striker. I mean, outside of David Villa, they've never had Torres was there, but I mean, I think El Nino was kind of on the back end when he was doing stuff because he was hurt all the time.
Yeah,
so they never really run through a 9. So
yeah,
I goals.
But see, they have found a number 9, which is interesting. Oyarzabal has scored his goal record for Spain is ridiculous. He's got 20 goals in 25 games or something. It's nuts. It really is. He's been scoring a ton for Spain. And the reason he wasn't really on my radar is because he plays for Sociedad. And so
for now.
Right. Yeah. He's probably going to get a move after this. And so I don't necessarily, I don't follow Sociedad like that, especially if they're not in the Champions League. So I don't really see them. So I legitimately before the tournament, I would have been oh, who's this random? I had no clue who this guy was.
He's not random.
He's not random anymore. He's in the Golden Boot race. Got 4 goals.
Yeah.
Got an assist to his name as well. And that only matters in the Golden Boot race because I just learned that that's how they break the tie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Mbappe is ahead because he's got assists.
2 assists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mbappe is the golden ball right now. If we're putting it out there, if it's him or
just give him all the awards, man. That This is another thing that I've accepted that I had to try to kind of talk to Brian about and Xavier about last night when we were talking. I was like, guys, just accept it. France are going to run over everyone. Everyone.
We think so, yes.
And Brian goes, "Hey man, any tournament, any day, USA can take them. Any game, any day."
Was he serious when he said that?
Oh, he's serious. Yeah, He thinks USA can win the World Cup. He thinks we're going to win.
Well, no, I don't. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm talking about the USA beating France.
Well, we'll have to if we're going to win the World Cup.
Well, no, well, that's I could, like, for example, looking at the path, right? I mean, could the USA win the World Cup if somebody knocks them out before they get to us, like Morocco? I can see Morocco giving France a game, right? Because that would be sort of the next real challenge, I guess you would get, but before the USA might have a chance to play them, right? But yeah, man, I don't. Okay, you know what?
France will smoke Morocco. I don't see that.
I agree, but I think Morocco will give them a game.
Sure, absolutely.
I think they'll give them a game.
Well, see, the thing is, USA would have to beat Belgium, then the winner of the Iberian Derby, and then France.
And the funny thing is, and we'll not. I won't go fully into going in front of it, but I as you said, I think the United States could beat either one of those teams because Spain is not going to dominate you scoring. So that means the USA has a chance to be in the game. And Portugal's midfield is completely discombobulated, and we appreciate, and we'll go there. We'll appreciate Cristiano Ronaldo leading the line because that allows us to stay in the game. But yeah, I think we'd have a chance if because it's not like a foregone thing for me against Belgium. I think from what we've seen, eye test statistics, the USA should beat Belgium, even though I think Belgium is the favorite, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Belgium. No, the USA is the favorite.
Really? The
USA
is the favorite.
Only by a little. On Bet 365, they're the favorite by just the slightest hint.
Mr. 420, it's definitely going to be a massive test. I am 100% looking forward to it because we need a little revenge from just a few years back in 2014.
But for Spain, I mean, they've won it, and congratulations to them. I mean, they scored when they needed to score. Austria was really nothing. It makes me question what's going to happen. Yeah, see? And
it's very close from the bookie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really close. But congrats to Spain. And who if they make it on to the next one. But I know that the Iberian Derby is going to be a great one.
Absolutely will do. Why don't we skip the big game and just say a little bit here on Switzerland and Algeria because
sure.
I mean I was very surprised that Algeria didn't offer anything. So much so that I went to bed at the second hydration break in the second half. I
went to bed like right after the second half because I'm like it was just vibes, man. You was like, yeah man, I don't see anything. And the funny thing is, we've watched this tournament where teams have come back. Just that they got the Dragon Ball Z Sensu bean and they started fighting back, and I didn't feel any of that from Algeria.
No, definitely not. And Switzerland, since you mentioned Dragon Ball Z, it's funny. Switzerland brought in that guy Manzambi that I've been talking about, and his goal celebration is like a
hey man,
it's like a shooting the thing. It's pretty cool for sure.
Yeah, have fun with it.
Yeah, hell yeah. And yes, Mr. 420. The U.S. winning a knockout game for the first time in 24 years is definitely a big deal.
Giant deal.
I agree with that for sure. But big up Breel Embolo, who at the beginning of the tournament was like supposed to be the guy for Switzerland, the guy getting in the goals, and he's finally got one. He's finally got one. And I thought he was going for the Holland celly, but then he stuck his fingers in his mouth and I was like, what?
Yeah, because then he did this thing with his hand, and I was like, "Hey, man, whatever. Like, hey, you're happy. Be happy."
I love celebrations, and I'm never, ever gonna be the celebration police. Do you? Yeah. For real? Yeah. But that one was a little. I was like, "Oh, all right, man." I mean, the craziest celebration I ever did was Like right when FIFA came out with the dead fish, where you can like do the fish jump on FIFA.
Right.
Like I scored a goal in my high school game, and I did that, and I'll tell you, people, it hurts.
Duh.
I landed right on I full sent it, landed right on my shoulder, and then I got up and I was like, that was so dumb.
Hey man, knee slides hurt too, man.
Oh man,
people think them things are easy.
Yeah. Ooh, Mr. 420, we'll definitely be getting to this a little bit later on in the show, but I think Australia's got a little something for them. It's going to be fun. But yeah, Swiss took care of business, and I mean, not taking anything away from Switzerland. They look good. They control the ball.
Solid.
You got to beat what's in front of you, right? You always say that, and it's definitely true here.
Well, hey, man, I think it was good for them to kind of get this kind of game. And again, after scoring the second goal, because their next game is going to be an interesting one. Even though I'm going to give, we talk about the environment, so we talked about Mexico being in Mexico City, and obviously the United States being, they'll be at Lumen, but Canada was supposed to be in Canada, but Switzerland topped the group and has been in Vancouver for the last 3 games, and they'll be in Vancouver for the next one. And I think, interestingly enough, because it hit me, because I had a chance to visit Vancouver once, and when you get there, it's first of all, it's picturesque because there's like giant snow-capped mountains behind the city. Yeah, sure. And so as I thought about that, I'm like, the Swiss probably feel right at home here. It's a super international city, and especially because it's because of where it's on the West Coast, it's like, I mean, it's a huge Asian influence. And even though I know the Swiss are European,
is it cold? Is it like colder? It's colder there?
No, it's the weather's similar to Seattle's, right?
Sure.
But it's a little bit colder because it snows there more, right? Because because of where the currents come in for them. But it's a beautiful city. It has sort of a moderate temperature compared to the rest of Canada, because most of Canada is inland. But you got the snow-capped mountains behind them. So I bet the Swiss go outside after every game, since they've been in Vancouver for probably over a week now. Yeah. And they're just like, they're seeing the snow caps, and they're like, well, we're home, man. Like, we're home. We got the Swiss Alps. We got the Rocky Mountains over here behind us. We'll just name it something Swiss. But their next game is there. And they're playing either Colombia or Ghana, and I think it was it's kind of a big deal, because for both of those teams are going from like a hot weather place, right? Because that game, where's the Colombia game at? The Colombia game
in Mexico, I think.
It's Kansas City. So it'll be humid, right? Because it gets hot there. And then they're gonna go to Canada, so there'll be like a temperature change thing and all that stuff. So just like England has to deal with the altitude in Azteca, I think the Swiss kind of have a little bit in favor of them. They'll see the snow and they'll feel home, So I think it'll be a good game. I think they'll give Colombia or Ghana a game, even though, obviously I'm leaning towards Colombia, but, and a Colombian win, but, I think it'll be a really good game next week.
I definitely think so as well. Mom says those headers are affecting homie's brain.
Hey, man. I mean, even though the ball is soft, you still feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, so big up the Swiss, of course, took care of business. A little bit of a letdown from Algeria, but the Swiss are through. Sure. Can't wait to Australia, Cabo Verde, and Ghana winning. Put that in a parlay and see how much you can get from DraftKings for this one. Good.
A fulfillion
on that one.
Millionaire on this one.
What's up, Hannah? Hope you're well. Yeah. But the big game yesterday, of course, was old Ronnie. It was the old boys versus, the old boys.
Really?
Oh, man. Ronaldo versus Modric. And it is definitely sad to see Modric kind of bow out on the international stage. I think that'll probably be his last tournament. I doubt he's making it to the Euros. It was a great game. I thought it was a good game. This one was definitely competitive.
Absolutely.
And I thought that. Go ahead. Yeah.
What I loved is that that there's the internationalness of this game because it was in Toronto, so it was a different kind of stadium. It wasn't like an American stadium, and so you got a different feel, a different fandom, and it was really just the vibes were really cool, and it was interesting because I mean the Croatians were there in full voice. They scored first. It was really exciting just to see the goal because you're sitting here and you're watching the game and you're like, Portugal need to make a change. Like we were really looking at that because Croatia was doing well, and as we mentioned, I think yesterday, where we said, hey, Modric and Kovacic has to play together, and they were doing well. They were running the show, man. Modric, it was a warrior, man.
They were comfortable in the first half. Comfortable.
Yeah. Played the whole game. And they only took Kova off for just to get a little add a little energy and some speed to the team. But outside of that,
No, they brought Kova off at the very end to bring on Kramaric, to bring on a forward when it was.
That's what I'm saying. To get some energy there. Yeah. And it almost worked. I disagree, Hanno, but I'm gonna give Portugal credit for showing up because the very interesting thing, even though Bernardo no longer plays for City, the game kind of turned when Bernardo came in the game.
It did,
and so which again. Martinez is the beginning and end of Portugal's success. And I say that because while we know CR7 is who he is, I give Martinez credit for pulling Ronaldo because no one saw him doing that.
I thought it was a mistake. I thought it was a mistake. I was shocked.
One did. Because his face, Ronaldo's face, he was like, what?
He was about to cry. He literally looked like he was on the verge of tears.
Yeah, man. And it was a thing. Well, I'm gonna let Jake comment before we touch that. So that's all I got on the game. But I mean, congratulations to Portugal. They fought it out.
Yeah, I definitely thought that the first half was a little bit tepid. It was a little bit, but see, that's what Croatia do. Yep. And if you watch closely, they've done it in literally every game. Even the first half versus England. What they do is they keep you in front of them. They're tight. They're compact. They don't give anything away. They're very focused in the early moments of games, in the first half of games. They're very focused on, we're not going to concede. We're going to be very tight at the back. We're not necessarily going to commit way too much going forward so that we're exposed. We're going to make sure we get to halftime and we're still in this game. And then they came out and they played a little bit more. The difference is Portugal recognized that and did the same thing. They upped the levels in the second half as well, and were able to get it over the line. And I think that's been something that Croatia have found success with over the years. That's why in the last tournament in 2018 rather, they were in 3 straight penalty shootouts, is because they grind out games, and Portugal were able to just grind it out a little bit harder. I think that. Got to big up Ronaldo for finally getting a World Cup knockout goal, albeit from the penalty spot. And if we're going to big up Zidane for going right down the middle with a cheeky Panenka in a World Cup final, you got to give a little bit of credit for Ronaldo for being brave enough to smash it right down the middle, right at the chest height. It's one of those where the goalkeeper falls down and he's like, damn it. And so Ronaldo, ice in the veins, of course, hits the Sioux, got to. But I don't necessarily think Ronaldo was, did they give him the man of the match? Because I don't think he did. I don't think he's man of the match. He's definitely not.
The funny thing is, when he got that penalty not too long after the goal where he was. I mean, it was close. I mean, you could see it. But it was a close call where he was offsides, but he had a solid finish. And when he finished that, I'm like, I was like, he needed to see that in order to be, because like goal scorers need to see the net bulge because he's been like off it. You can see he's been off it. But when he scored, and it was a good finish. It was a great finish. And you're like, he had a good, it wasn't a tap in. It was like he had to place that perfectly to score that goal. And once he had that touch and felt that, I'm like, he's going to get one. And the only reason I thought he would get one is because I'm like, that him doing that finish and and feeling like, yo, okay, I got my technique. All a goal scorer needs is to feel that.
Yep.
And I knew we would get one, and we got one. I mean, obviously, the penalty was a penalty, and you go from there.
Oh, for me. That one was a clear pin. Renato Vega, Brian was not happy with it. My buddy Brian was not happy with it at all because of his bet. But I told him, I was like, look, the guy has an NFL wrap around Vega right there. And it's funny. I said NFL coaches would be proud of that tackle, and he goes, "Yeah, maybe the Carolina Panthers coaches." He's a Redskins fan, by the way. So
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a clear because I think I wrote it in the chat. Like I saw him miss, but then they showed the guy, and behind him I saw the dude like this. I'm like, yo, man, it's a penalty, man.
Yeah. You're not getting away with that.
Stone cold penalty. Hey, man, what are you talking about? That was an easy penalty.
Yeah, and also big up me for yesterday on the show calling out, man, they need Gonçalo Ramos. He's right there. They need him. They need him to come in. And Martinez, of course, makes the decision late on to bring Ronaldo off. And Ramos comes in. And, hey, as much as we give shit to Martinez because, obviously, he's got this one right. And Ramos comes in, gets the header. And when they lobbed that ball in, I was like, there's three dudes there. There's no way. There's no chance he gets to this header. And somehow gets in front of his man and nods it home. I think Gonçalo Ramos, because of where he's at, he plays for Paris. And he's behind superstars, and so I think he's underrated. I think he's a very underrated finisher.
You got to think like Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Barcelona, Madrid. There's guys that are sitting in the second tier that you send them to any other team, and they're studs.
Yeah, Ramos definitely a good player. I think he'll have a part to play in the next game as well, if I'm not too sorely mistaken. But of course, we must get to the late drama. And I've had two different discussions before this discussion. One was very long-winded about this, where, yes, I get it. Technology, like the point that was made to me most, vociferously was that having all this technology being this, like the determinant, the end line determinant of a call on the field opens the door for corruption. It opens the door for Vegas and FIFA to fix things how they want, because now the referee has so many ways to influence the game. Okay, this is kind of the idea that's being presented to me. And the main point was that we didn't really see the guy flick. I personally thought that I saw the guy flick. I saw him flick and his head hit the ball, and there was a slight subtle I personally thought I saw that on the replays. Not everyone agrees with that. And so because it was such a slight touch and it was kind of not really obvious in the, the 9,700 replays I'm sure they looked at, we needed the chip that's in the ball. There's 14 sensors in the ball, and they're in one of the panels. So this is how they're stabilized. It's in one of the panels on the ball. And so it's not like it's in the airbag and it's just bouncing around in there. It's literally affixed to the ball, and it doesn't move at all. And so it's stable, right? And so it's not like it was a faulty chip or something that has, and so what happens is when the ball, like the way this technology interacts with each other, and this is part of like the goal line as well. And this is also part of how they're doing we can go back on a corner or go back on a goal kick and overturn that. That's also how they're doing that, because the ball will light up and the receiver is in the VAR room. The receiver is not in the referee's watch or whatever, like the goal line technology. It's in the VAR room. So that's why the VAR has to tell the referee, yo, there was a touch. Because he didn't call, he called it a goal on field call. Yep. But the VAR has to tell you, hey, the technology literally is lighting up. Yo, he's touched it. Like, and where I break away from is like, how do you argue with that?
There's no argument.
What?
You know, the funny thing is when I went to Manchester, and I did the city tour before the last match, Pep's last match.
Yeah, I remember.
During the city tour, when you walk on the grounds, they show you there are multiple cameras pointed at the goal. And the guy was like, "Hey, do you see those cameras?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Do you know what those cameras are for?" I'm like, "Probably for TV." He's like, "No, they're for VAR." And those cameras are affixed to the goal line on purpose for goal line technology. There's literally multiple cameras pointed there, and they're connected to the sensor in the ball, so it lights up like you said. So this is where you don't often see referees ever overturn those things because it's a VAR call. In addition to that, people who question, well, man, they're kicking the ball hard and so and so. Let me ask you a simple question. If you own a car or anything that moves or a black box in the plane, those things are affixed into moving objects that hit things all the time. And so if a car has an accident and something hits the car, and cars have sensors all over them now, those sensors don't just disappear. The sensors take the impact because technologies has allowed them to say, hey, well, how do we engineer this to fit in here to use regular wear and tear? So when we need it at a later date, it works.
How do black boxes survive
a plane that blows up and crashes?
That explodes.
Like, come on, man.
Sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Like how does a black box, you know what I mean? The technology is there. And the thing about Vega's touch is, as we know, if the defender doesn't change the direction of the ball at all, it's still ruled as a pass, and therefore he's offsides.
Right.
So that one, yeah, okay, Vega definitely touched it. You can see him touched it, but it skimmed off his head, and it did not change the flight of the ball at all.
None.
And so they're never going to call that as, oh, the defenders touch it. It's a new phase of play. It's not a new phase of play.
In addition to that, when the defender touches it, the defender has to make a play like they're trying to control the ball. And he didn't do that. Like, the ball flew at him, and he ducked down, and he didn't know anything, so it just flew past him.
It skipped past him, yeah.
It flew right past him. It hit him, but it flew past him. That's not possession change at all.
Hanno, this right here is the crux of an argument I had for about 40 minutes last night with one of my best friends. We don't need to see the touch. Why does having to see the touch at home matter?
They have technology to call it.
Yeah, like just because I didn't see it, or just because clearly the referee didn't even see it.
Right, the referee. And again, VAR made this call. You could go into corruption on the human assessment, but the technology said it shows. I think there's several videos out there where it shows the ball, and while it's in flight, there's nothing red. And as soon as it gets to the guy who does that, the sensor goes off immediately, and then the sensor goes off again when it hits the dude in the back. what are we doing?
That's the one that I'm not really.
It shows
that I don't really get. Like, if you wanna argue about Messi doesn't get a red, but Balogun gets a red,
yes,
we can have that conversation. We can have that conversation for sure. But when it comes to something that technology that we've all agreed on, and you and I, we've discussed this a number of times over our episodes on the pod. We're not going back.
No,
we're not taking all this technology out and going back to what we were doing. And so the argument, and this is, I had another conversation with another friend last night about this. We complained so much about shitty refereeing that we got this technology.
You can't ask for the fix and complain about it.
Exactly. You can't have it both ways. You know what I mean?
To further support your point, if we're using VAR for that, because that's goal line technology, goal line technology, but all sides. The other thing is, if we go backwards, this argument opposed to the offsides is connected to, hey man, well, he's only a toe over, but he's over. Like, I mean, look, man, Like you can't be a little dumb. Either you're dumb or you're not. You know what I'm saying? So understanding, hey man, well he only touched the line. If it was the NFL and he had a toe out of bounds, just his toe, is he out of bounds? Yes. If it's the NBA and his foot touched the sideline before he passes the ball, is he out of bounds? Yes. So what are we talking about? Like what are we saying? Like if it's Major League Baseball and it's the strike zone and it touches the line, which is, I mean, people don't love it, but they love it. If the ball, the stitch on the ball touches the line, is it a strike? Yes. So what you want the fine margins, you want it to be right. We can't complain because we like the imperfection. You can't complain about the imperfection, and then when they correct the thing that's easy to correct, you complain about it. You can't have both of those things.
Yeah, you can't beg for precision. You can't beg for precision, and then when your team is on the wrong side of a close one, be like, nah, man, I wish we could go back to where you get the benefit of the doubt and all that. Nah. That's the point I had to make to Brian. I was like, look, man, I get it. Your team
out of the bottle. You got your wish.
If this was the other way around and you win your bet on that disallowed goal and you win your bet, you got no problem with it. None. Zero problem with it. None. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I understand. I'm not like harping on Brian. I definitely understand where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I get it. I didn't see the touch either. I didn't see a touch either. But when you go back and look at it, and you clearly see the forward do this with his head. He clearly
he was trying to flick it on.
He does the flick motion. Trying. Like if you've ever played the game and you've tried to do one of those, you can tell that's exactly what he was doing. He was trying to get the flick on so that the ball went back that way. And while it was minuscule and you can't really see it with the eyes, that's literally what we did the technology for. But then a situation like this.
But then the other thing that connects to that is then the argument is the defender. But again, the player's still offsides. Like, so he's still off. So okay, the defender gets the ball. Okay, he got the ball. But he got the ball and he was behind the defender, which makes him offside. So either way, if you're counting the defender, he's off. It's still no goal. Still.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we wanted to bring in the technology to obey the letter of the law, to the letter, to the T. And that's what happened. Unfortunately, it did not go down so well for most or many, especially because I also thought that Croatia were going to do this. We're going to pull this one out. I've not been impressed by Portugal.
I did too.
And so, yeah, it's sour to lose like that, of course. Think you have it and then it's snatched away from you. Of course, that feels bad, but at the end of the day, isn't that why we love it? Isn't it finishes like this why we love the game?
Well, the funny thing is, Jake, is I know I said it to you guys in the chat where I was like, hey man, Ronaldo's, I think his sister or somebody in his family announced that he's retiring from international football after this World Cup. And I said, and this was I think I either said it when the game first started or right before. I was like, hey, man, well, it's funny to make that announcement to go out in this game. So I was assuming they were going to lose. Like, they didn't look good. So I'm like, well, what a way to put that out there, right? And then for you to lose in the game and not score, but then he scored and they won. And it was whatever. But, a quick point that I didn't see because I switched off, but I saw the highlights later. Even though, probably was a little bit of clout chasing, respect to Ronaldo and Portugal for recognizing Diego Jota, who passed away that day, the exact day, year to the day. It was a year to the day, that game. And so, they did a picture with his jersey and he had the jersey on. And,
I did see that.
Yeah, much respect to them for acknowledging, that's who, I think that's what they were saying. That's who they're playing for. And, to lose a person at any time, but, sort of in the prime of their life with young children and full of life. Like the man, I think he had just won the league. I think Liverpool had just won the league. and it's hard, but it's respect to them for that. But which also I think makes it harder for like Martinez to make some of the calls because you got some of that sentiment in there connected to well, we want guys to do so and so because when that goal got scored and you saw Ronaldo's face like, hey, he took me out the game and they just equalized. First of all, sir, you weren't going to stop that goal because you're not defending. So stop. Your aura is insufficient for it to stop the goal. So that wasn't happening, first. But second, hey, man, you wasn't adding anything. So, too, I think Hano said it, somebody said it. Hey, man, if they lose the next game, and I'm not jumping the gun, so I'll let you do the transition. It'll be, if we're looking at trends, it'll be, if they lose to Spain, it'll be because of the hindrances he's created in the style of play. They have to play because he's on the field.
That'll definitely be the narrative. 100% will. No matter if Lamine Yamal just lights it up, hat trick, 3-0, blanks them, it'll still be, Ronaldo is playing against him and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, and even my mom texted me at halftime and was like, man, Ronaldo's not even in this. Ronaldo's not doing anything.
Nothing.
And I was like, yeah, the only time he's getting the ball is he's coming back in. And there was one moment where he was like 5 yards from Bruno and Bruno didn't give him the ball and he did one of his,
Well, not only that, but remember early in the game, because in the chat I had with you guys, and there was another chat with my buddies, and there was a time when who was it? Hold on, it was Jesus, hold on. But there was one where there should have been a shot. Hold on, let me look at the lineup real quick. It was Leao. Leao had he beat his guy on the left, cut back in, and he had a clear shot on goal. Clear. And he passed it to Ronaldo. And all of us, literally everybody was like, why didn't he shoot that? Like everybody's sitting there like, yo, what are you doing?
And then the commentator said something.
Because everybody's like, they're trying to get him a goal. Hey, man, win the game, man. What are you doing? Like, again, that type of stuff is a problem. Hey, dude, Leao hasn't been in great form. You need to score.
Yeah.
And there's no way you get – dude, there was no one in front of him. And he passed the ball.
I was shocked by that, too. I was like, dude, just rip that. Just rip that one. Yeah, but I expect we'll probably see some more of that in the next game versus Spain. And, yeah, I do. As Hano says, I do expect Spain to handle Portugal, unfortunately. But, yeah.
I don't know.
Should be a fun one at least, though.
I don't know. And the only reason I'm saying that is because it took a lot for Martinez to take him out. It's sort of like the kid facing their bully. And they're like, wait a minute, I could stand up to the bully and win?
Right.
And he won. So when they won the game, you could see it on his face. There was a sense of relief, though. I did this thing that I wasn't supposed to do, and I went full on, and we took the lead. So my managerial IQ and decision-making is saying, hey, man, I'm going to follow my gut. He's not helping us. Let me put this guy on to help us. Who did? And then I won. So that's enough where you can go in where before, if they had lost the game, Ronaldo can be like, hey, you're crazy on me. Now he's like, he can come in, hey, man, you subbed me. Hey, sir, we won the game when you went out.
We won the game. Yeah.
We won the game when you went out. So.
And then, of course, there will always be the people who remind us all of when Portugal won the Euros. Ronaldo was on the bench.
He was not on the field. Exactly. And it was another one. The other tournament they won was
they won the Nations League last year.
Nations League. And I don't think he was on the field for that either.
Yeah, but I don't really set a whole lot of store by the Nations League.
But
we shall definitely see.
The winning came, and he ain't there.
Yeah. Yep. Fair enough. It's definitely be the hero. Exactly. Be the hero. We don't have to have Ronaldo as the hero of the story, despite
win the game.
despite his main character energy, that's for sure. But yeah, Portugal, Spain is going to be a lot of fun. You know what else is going to be a lot of fun? Australia versus Egypt.
Man,
this one is spicy, man.
man.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure which way this one's going. I expect Egypt to have more of the ball, but as we know, I mean, have they inspired us to believe they're just going to break down this low block? Australia are pretty big. They got that Sutar guy who's an absolute giant. He's like 6'6" or whatever. So we know Australia are going to be looking for the corner kicks, the free kicks, the long throws, trying to use that height advantage. But of course, it's Mo Salah and Marmoush on the other side.
And Egypt is favored.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can definitely see that. But I don't know. Can they break down the low block? That's going to be the question. Australia obviously have shown they can counter well and quickly. They got some speedy guys with Irakonja and Torre up top. So I don't know. I don't think this is necessarily a foregone conclusion. But Australia got to keep it tight for like a long time. That's kind of, if they get scored on early, it kind of, erases the game plan and it'll make it, they'll have to come out. And I think that'll definitely suit Egypt a lot more. As we know, Mr.
And Australia haven't scored since their first game.
Oh, for real?
The only time they scored was against Turkey, and they were blanked in the next two games. They didn't score another two games because they lost to the United States 2-0, and they drew with Paraguay 0-0. They haven't scored.
That's a concern.
And Egypt has scored in every game they've played.
That's a big concern, especially if Egypt score first. We know what Mo Salah can do on the counter. If you open up, we know what he's got.
The funny thing is they're playing in Dallas. That climate control that levels out. So now you're not worried about anything. I mean, if I'm looking, I understand why Egypt is the favorite. I can see it. Makes sense.
But only because of I think they're benefited from the fact that they play in a tougher. Actually, you know what? Australia play in African qualified. No, it's Asian qualified.
No, Asian. Yeah, Asian.
But I think Egypt definitely play in a tighter continental group a harder continental group as far as like they play versus the African teams. And so they're in the AFCON. They're very successful at the AFCON, Egypt. And so I think it's these kinds of things that why maybe the bookies are giving them an edge. It's more of like a legacy thing because Australia is a little bit, I guess you might say of an unknown to the more popular mainstream kind of thinking. And so when you have the likes of Marmoush and Salah, I get that they're giving them a little bit of a nod, but I think this game is very even. This could go either way for me, for sure. And especially if Australia score early.
Yeah, I think it just depends on how Egypt defends because Australia hadn't scored in 2 games, and Egypt has scored in all of them. So that means Egypt is good for a goal for sure. And I mean, with Marmoush and Salah up there, it makes sense to believe that. And so, if I was randomly prognosticating based on just like basic data like that, I would say this might be like a 3-2, something like that. I think it'll be goals in this game.
I can see goals for sure.
I think it'll be goals here. Yeah. And it's an early kick, so you're still kind of spry and all that stuff. Like you didn't have to wait like hours and hours to play the game.
Right. I always wonder if like for example, Colombia play Ghana at 9:30 tonight. Are they sleeping in?
You have to, man.
Are you sleeping till noon or 11? Like to just so that you're.
And they're in Kansas City. Are they eating that Kansas City barbecue before they go out there to the game?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, hey.
Trust me.
Sleepwalking out there.
Yeah, man. That pulled pork will put you out, put you down for the count for sure. I wouldn't be doing any of that delicious brisket before the game. That's a no-no.
Yeah, man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think that will be a lot. I think that'd actually be a fun game.
I think so. I think this will be more exciting than the Algeria and Switzerland game.
Yeah. Now, the next game I've just realized is in Miami.
Yes, sir.
I've just How y'all gonna do Cape Verde like that?
We know why they did that. Stop.
Oh man.
Stop.
Cape Verde are, excuse me, someone did correct me. Someone actually has corrected me on my video, on my shorts, on my Cape Verde shorts. It's actually supposed to be pronounced like bird. So Verde, Cape Verde is actually how
Unless
I've been
you
told.
say Cabo Verde, because then you say the E when it's Cabo. Yes.
There you go.
We just mixing languages. It's all good.
There you go. And so Messi in Miami. It's gonna be the stands are gonna be a shit show. The outside the stadium, it's gonna be an absolute shit show. Like,
yes.
I mean, there might be a tiny little small section of Cabo Verdeans at some little small corner of the stadium, but the rest is gonna be pink and blue.
Yeah, man.
I wonder if Kalshi or Polymarket has a bet on which Messi jersey will be represented the most, right?
Oh, it'll be the Argentine one, but you'll see that pink one in there.
The pink one is going to be everywhere. But also, like, there'll be Barca jerseys. There'll be Paris jerseys. There'll be, any team he's played for at all, that they'll be there. So I'm wondering if there's going to be any other jersey. Like, you might be able to count on both hands how many other players have people are representing the jerseys, because it's just going to be all Messi. It's going to be all white and blue, a sea of Albi Celeste. Like, it's just going to be jam packed with Messi fans. And I think they've most certainly done that on purpose. Is that what Portugal did?
Did for what?
I'm not sure what she's referring
for Ronaldo, to.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
No, another cool thing that they did, I saw this recently, is the Portugal fan. Well, I don't know if it's Portugal fans or Ronaldo fans, but like at their hotel after the win, like the whole Portuguese team went outside and Ronaldo went out there, and like the entire hotel was surrounded by Portugal fans, just like
nice.
Hitting off the suit, and he was just out there like soaking it up. So, I love it, man. That's what it's about. And and the thing about it is, I feel like because it was in Toronto, it kind of shows just how globally recognizable and endeared these players are. So it supports and couples with your point of Messi in Miami with Argentina as a Latin American country.
They're gonna shut that section around the Hard Rock. It's gonna be shut down. It's gonna be shut down. You're not getting anything through there. But all of that aside, the witch doctor has said, the witch doctor's put it out there, man.
He said penalties, right? I think he said penalties or something like that.
He said Cabo Verde are knocking them out in penalties, and yes, that's laughable. But if we're really like looking at it, I mean, is there any hope that they keep them out for if they keep them out for 60 minutes, like what's the feeling going to be like in the stadium at that second hydration break? It's 0-0 at that second hydration break. Vizinha's got Fafilian saves already.
Yeah, man.
That's your bet in this game. Like, if you want a tip for this game, Vizinha to make 9,700 saves is probably where we're at.
Yes. Well, the funny thing about that, though, is, Argentina has scored 2 or more goals in their last 5 games, right? And so you're looking at that, and you're like, well, I can see them scoring a minimum 2. It's sort of that underdog thing where it would be cool if Cabo Verde can stay in the game, but it'll be crazy if they score first. If they score first, the chaos that will ensue if they score first. Now, in my opinion, if they score first, I think Argentina just breaks the levees. They just break the levees. If they score first, they're just gonna kill them. But I think it'll do enough where I think it'll be a very interesting narrative because, in addition to that, if Messi loses this one to this team, and Ronaldo just won the day before,
I can already hear the Ronaldo fans. I get what Mom was saying here. Is that what Portugal did? They ate the barbecue before the game. That's what she's saying.
I get it. Hey, man, sometimes barbecue is delicious.
Hey, it's one of my favorites.
My bad.
It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. That's for sure. But yeah, man, if Messi somehow stumbles and doesn't get through this game in Miami, in front of, let's just face it, it's a home game. Yeah. That would be probably the story of the tournament. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I don't see it happening, man. As much as I want to come on here and big up Cabo Verde, of course, and be like, oh yeah, they got something. It's gonna be nah.
Well, but here's why I'm looking at it, and I'm not poo-pooing it, but I'm giving them credit. Because against Spain, it was 0-0. We already talked about Spain doesn't score like that. So, okay, that sounds fair. And then Uruguay, there was 2-2. Well, if Uruguay was scoring and they didn't look good at all, Argentina scored.
Terrible, man.
Argentina scored. And then you have Saudi Arabia who...
And they underwhelmed, man. I expected way more from them in this tournament. They were very underwhelming.
So while the darlings of the tournament, and it's mostly, I mean, I'm gonna respectfully say this, it's not because of the men's part of Cabo Verde or on why they've been loved. It's because of the women. And so because people love the women and they want to keep seeing the women at games, hey, we appreciate you. If you can pull off this thing, we love it. But, this is probably it.
Yeah.
This is probably it.
Yeah, but they have absolutely brought something special to the tournament, and you got to big them up. Got to big them up for that, of course.
For sure.
But then the nightcap.
Oof.
I know you're going to be locked in.
I'm watching this one.
Oh, yeah.
Fully awake.
That's going to be a fun game, man.
This is going to be a game, too, man. Like, this is a game.
Mugs. They're probably going to approach it exactly how they approached the England game.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Yeah.
Hold on, Lumen. Whoa. Let's walk this back a little bit, Lumen. Calm down. Calm yourself. Calm yourself right down there, Lumen. This is
the shade. All right,
disgraceful.
Lumen.
This is a disgraceful
comment. All of the shade. All right, Lumen. I see the shade.
Oh, he's doing way too much there. You're doing way too much there.
I got nothing, man. The shade.
But yeah, how you feeling about this though? It's Lucho, your man, on the team, but also it's Semenyo on the other side. Man. You gotta be cheered. I know what it is. You want a 3-1 Colombia win and Semenyo to score a screamer.
I'm good with that. That's the only. I'll even take a 3-2 Colombia win. As long as they win, I don't care what the win is. As long as they win, I'm good. Because hey, man,
it's all love, Lumen. It's all love.
Because like they feel like a really, really good team. Now I'm about to throw the same energy at James as I've thrown at Ronaldo. I don't know what he offers. I don't know what he offers at all. Like we for the longest we had World Cup James or Colombia shirt James because in the Copa America, dude was balling, and then they lost to Argentina in the final in Miami. But hey, man, that James is gone. Like I mean, we were trying to find it, to summon it. That final ball isn't there anymore. He's not that guy. First, in the last game, they didn't start Suarez. Suarez needs to start.
Yeah.
Munoz didn't start that game either. Munoz needs to start that game.
Okay.
No, he came on as a sub. And so if they run the lineup that I'm seeing on FootMob, I'm fine. But I don't know if James is I mean, he's going to start just like Ronaldo is going to start the next game. James is starting this game, but I give the manager credit because he does pull James off.
Yeah.
James doesn't have enough aura to be like, yeah, you need to because Lucho is Lucho's team. We're not going to pretend anything different either. It's Lucho's team. And if I'm being honest, I actually would not start James, and I would start Richard Rios instead of James to push the lineup forward. And so you would have Arias, Suarez, and Lucho leading the line, and then you'd have Lerma, Puerta, and Rios in the midfield. That's what I would run and leave the back line the way it is. Obviously, starting Mojica and Munoz, and then let James come. Because I think, if I'm being honest, James coming in to finish this game is probably better than him starting it because he's playing against tired legs. Because fresh James legs can't meet fresh everybody else's legs anymore.
I think that I agree with that. I think that you also, and this has not been displayed so far in the tournament, and we've spoken on how kind of weird it is that your best players are getting pulled off at the end of games. But if this just so happened to go to pins, you kind of want James to take a pin.
That's what I'm saying. I think he should be on at the end. And it'll be an international incident, but I think symbolically, if they did that, right, what it would show, because Lucho would be the captain, he would come out as the captain. I think symbolically it would show that there's a passing of the guard. I think having Lucho come out, lead the team on this one, and then let James come in and give James the band at the 70th minute and let James finish the game feels more complete than doing it the other way.
Well, conversely, Ghana are going to be sitting in and countering, and so you don't necessarily need James to be like running back and forth and doing a whole bunch of defensive
wasting
work.
his energy, man.
Yeah. So
whereas in the 70th minute, depending on the score, hey man, it's just free flowing ball at that point. It's literally just going to be free flowing ball at that point. Now I understand egos are there, but it's sort of understanding. Do you want the team to win, or do you want to win? And if you want the team to win and you want to win, then you come on in the second half. If you just want to win, then you start. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I definitely hear that. Lumen says, where did Tuchel get the idea of shifting Declan Rice to the left back so as to bring on Eze in the midfield? That's a great question.
Pep Guardiola.
There you go. Fair enough. The thing with that is he didn't have much choice. He's left himself with not much choice. And it's very evident in the fact that you literally brought Trevor Chalobah because you had two injuries in that position, and then you didn't even use him. So Tuchel
is John Stones on.
Which
is why I said Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, Tuchel's got his head up as you know what. That's what I think. So on that one.
He's getting results, which
he's eking out results, which is what Tuchel does.
So in his mind, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's broke. Trust me.
I agree, but
it looks broke from the outside looking in. We'll say it that way. And
they look rough starting games. They don't look really good starting games, which is on the manager.
And of course we'll speak on that soon. But if they don't start well in the next game, it could be lights out. Could be lights out. But I'm not overlooking Ghana here in this one.
No.
I think they're going to give Colombia a tough game. They're going to sit in. They're going to defend well. We saw what they can do versus England. I thought that they looked very good versus England in that game, as far as defensively speaking, which is what they'll apply in this one as well. And it's not like Colombia are gonna like out-athlete them, outpace them. Ghana got speed, man. They definitely got some speed.
And I feel like both teams feel like that if they can make the next round, I think they both feel like they could beat Switzerland. Yeah. I think they both feel that. So they're for sure playing because they're like, hey man, we beat Switzerland. Hey man, we're in the quarters.
Yeah, absolutely. Lumen, I tend to agree. I think Luis Diaz is going to have a field day. Honestly,
but this is why I think if you sit James, he'll do it because if he's the guy, because he does play off James. He's like, okay, this is the guy. If James is not there at all, and you say, hey Lucho, your team, I think Lucho will cook, man.
Yeah, and another thing, as an aside, that's kind of surprised me is that Olise is absolutely crushing it, and Harry Kane is looking immense. And now, obviously, we know what Luis Diaz can do. Dude, the Bayern front three, man. Like how did they not like? It's still baffling to me that Bayern kind of went out of the Champions League with a little bit of a whimper. With these three guys up top,
beat them.
Yeah,
They got beat them.
That's fair. But I'm
just saying. Did you see what Paris did?
Yeah.
Because then if you talk about those guys, now account for the Paris guys.
No. I understand. It was just that second game. That second game in that tie was just weird to me. It was just weird to me. Anyway, I think that Colombia are definitely going to do it. But one thing I do want to mention about Ghana is that, and I get it, it's kind of like maybe a little bit taboo to say some shit like this, but yes, Thomas Partey, obviously we know about the off-field stuff he's got going on. But when he came into the team in that second game, they improved dramatically. They improved dramatically.
He's good.
Like, a lot. And so now, I think if they have any shot in this game, he's going to have to be immense.
Well, the funny thing about you bringing that up, because then it was sort of like that moment where all the dominoes fall. And again, but I'm just sort of thinking, so Colombia make it, obviously there's no issue. But this actually changes what I just said about Ghana feeling like they have a chance to play Switzerland for this reason. That game is in Canada. It's in Canada, so you wouldn't be able to play.
They'll have to go to Vancouver without him. Yeah.
Which means he might play levels in this game just because he's like, I can't play the next one.
And that's, those are kind of the spaces where James tends to haunt on the field, unless they put him out wide and let Lucho down the middle or maybe Suarez down the middle. But he might end up in Partey's pocket.
Which again, everything says bring him on as a sub. Bring him on as a sub.
Absolutely.
Because then James is watching the game. He's smart. So James looks like a guy that'll probably be a manager somewhere at some point. Yeah. And so because he's a smart guy. And so just watching that, I'm like, yeah, I think he gets it. Now I don't know how humble he is. He seems like he's a nice guy, right? But I don't know how humble he is where it's like, okay, strategically we need to do X, Y, Z. He has to know he's not that guy anymore. He has to know.
I think it's very interesting when we watch how players age. And I think there's something that aging defenders tend to exhibit more than the likes of Ronaldo and the likes of the aging attackers, the likes of Lewandowski, the likes of Dzeko. The aging defenders have to rely a whole lot more on positioning. I think Thiago Silva is a perfect example at Chelsea. Yeah. When you don't have the legs anymore. When you know for a fact you're not keeping up with guys that are 10 years younger than you, you have to adjust where you start. You have to adjust how you read the game. And I think that is the thing that separates some aging players from other aging players. As they get older, the way they read the game, their vision, their mind in the game improves and gets even better and even better and even better. And that's why I think Messi is still able to do what he does because he's not mobile. He's not mobile anymore, but he knows where to be. That's going to open it up because he's still got it from anywhere in front of the goal. Anywhere in front of the goal, he knows where to put it. And so the way he's aging is up here. And I think that defenders tend to do it better.
This is why the Messi-Ronaldo debate is leaning more and more towards Messi because Messi's getting the results. Because one criticism of Messi is he walks. Yes, but he walks to where he's supposed to be. Because I watched him when he played at Miami. He just literally he's watching the flow of the game, and then he's like, boom, I'm gonna be right here and give him the ball, and then he does what he needs to do. Because the thing is, he knows he only needs to be good in spurts. Right. That's all he needs. He needs to be good in spurts in space. And when he's not good in spurts in space, he'll let go of the ball. Ronaldo doesn't do that because Ronaldo, and this is where it's very different. Where I think the way Messi evolved in the game, he was never like a physically imposing guy, so he always had to be a smart player. Whereas Ronaldo he's a smart player. So just not saying anything about his IQ, but Ronaldo's always been a physical being. Like everybody looks at him, but you're not that dude anymore. Yes, you are physically in shape, but your physical in shape is not beating a physically in shape young defender at all, ever. Right. Not you are. What you've done is you've kept yourself where you're still good enough to be on par with guys who don't have your brain.
Yeah.
And that's what you've done, because the other thing, and we mentioned this in another one, so this is to give a shout to the USA team. Tim Ream is another example.
Yes.
Tim Ream is a perfect example of, hey, man, I ain't fast no more. But let me figure out where I'm supposed to be. Because in the game, the one game USA lost and looked kind of weird was the one he wasn't in. And it was because the defenders didn't know where to be. Whereas a smart, and Virgil van Dijk is another one who does this.
Great example.
You know where you are. Hey, man, I'm not fast. I'm still strong. Like, if you come to body me, you're not winning that. But if you're going to outrun me, I might lose that one. So where do I need to be to cut off the lane so these guys can't play you the ball? And that's what they do. They hold the line really well. And that's why old defenders can play for a really long time. Old goalkeepers can play for a long time. And to Luka Modric's credit and Kovacic, good, solid sixes who understand where to be and how to distribute. Because Pirlo was another one who did this.
Oh, God,
That, hey, man, I don't need to be fast or any of those things. But if my game was predicated on that, unless I've completely evolved, it's not going to work. This is why Kevin De Bruyne is not good like he was anymore, because Kevin De Bruyne had those spurts. He can't make those runs anymore. If Kevin turned into a 6 or like a low-lying 8 and kind of was facilitating, he would be better. But he's still trying to make those runs, and that ball ain't there anymore. And
go the Pirlo route. If KDB became what Andrea Pirlo was at the end of his career,
monster.
Like I honestly can't even like picture in my head the last time I saw Andrea Pirlo like sprint.
Why would he do it?
In that 06 Italy team, he just kind of kept it ticking. He was in the right spot.
Yeah.
Get on the ball. You couldn't get the ball off of him.
Right.
Crazy press resistant. You're never getting the ball from him. And if Kevin De Bruyne went that way, he could probably extend his career.
But he's not going to do that because some of these guys are their minds are predicated. I got to be this way. And this is where Messi gets a little more credit, because Messi has figured out, okay, first he was a winger, right? And he's not that. So now he plays the 10, but he doesn't play 10 like other 10s play 10.
Right.
Because he sits there and he plays 10 where he ends up being the 9, and then he plays, and then he comes back and he's a 10 when the 9 overlaps more or wing passes him. And he's dictating where he's playing a little bit like an 8, but he's a 10. And so I think the thing is that James has that in him, which is why I think him not starting the game is the answer. And anybody who watches ball and who's watched him would say that's probably Colombia's best thing, because if we've watched any of these games, there's a likelihood this goes into extra time.
Oh, yeah.
And
for sure.
And to your point, if we want to have the best result in the end, so now we're not questioning the manager, why did you take your star off? Put him on late. Put him on late.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a proper strategy. And and I think sometimes they know it too. Like Ronaldo knows, he knows that he's lost a step. He knows, but he still kind of has that, oh, I can take on 3 guys and hit one top bins.
But like he doesn't even do hold up play.
Most of them, here's the key thing here. Most understand their physical limitations.
But like
some think they're still,
yeah. He first, Ronaldo wasn't a striker. He was a winger. He was an out and out speed guy.
Yeah.
And he was a winger. He's not a striker. So that's the first thing that was he good in the air? Yes. But when you pass it to him, he's not sitting there fighting guys. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He might do it every blue moon, but like we're not laying it up to him and saying, hey, hold the ball up so we can come get you. Because then if he does do that, he doesn't pass the ball. He wants to shoot. Hey, man, again, I want to win the game. And for me, I don't understand, because this is the one thing that you're missing out of your resume. Winning the game is more important than personal accolades, because you're going to go back to Saudi and you're going to get your 1,000 goals. Win the World Cup, man.
And we'll end on this, and it's not about Colombia, but I do think Colombia are going to get through. I think they're going to be just fine, but we'll wrap it up with this one here. I think that who have you not heard about in that Portugal team at all this tournament? Who has not done anything that we expected them to do?
You mean Bruno?
Exactly. And it's directly It's directly because Ronaldo is trying to be in the same space that Bruno's in. It's the direct result of Ronaldo not playing necessarily so that the team can win. And that's why Bruno has just not done anything in the tournament.
Well, and I thought this yesterday. You said something about Bruno yesterday in the chat. And I thought to myself, I said, Bruno had, 20 assists with a forward line that was far inferior to what's at Portugal, and he can't get an assist anywhere. He plays with lesser players at his club, and he's finding them. The front line is the problem. Or the one guy in the front line.
Yeah, absolutely. Look what happened when Gonçalo Ramos comes on. They find the space for a cross, and he gets the game winner. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there, But yeah, I do think it's going to be a good day in the World Cup. Australia, Egypt will be spicy. I don't know that the next one will be spicy. It'll be fun to watch, though. And Colombia, Ghana, definitely the game of the day for me. Going to be a lot of fun. But it's certainly been a lot of fun this morning on this one as well. So make sure you're liking, make sure you are subscribing, sharing it on the socials, get that notification bell on, all that good stuff. Pick up the chat every single time. Pick up everyone that's being here. We certainly appreciate it. And we'll see us next time.